Hello guys, Ace Combat Fan here, together with...
Hey everyone, it's SlyCooperFan1 here.
And we were doing a stream yesterday about Ace Combat's appearance, or what we thought would be Ace Combat's appearance. And we had some important topics we'd like to discuss. And as you might have noticed, I've taken down the audio of the previous video because it's so important and we made mistakes that we would like to fix through this video. That's why we didn't keep the other one. But we'll address them here. First things first, we got the impression that Ace Combat 7 would be featured yesterday, which was July 13th on E3, which it wasn't. We had really high expectations that the game would show up in there, as we kinda perceived through the posts on Bandai Namco social media. But the most important thing about this issue is the demo. The demo, which had been announced in their social media, which is being held at the Creative Labs, which is actually not in Bandai's booth, the main booth. As you can see, I showed in the screenshot, it's just this tiny bit of space there at E3 and compared to Namco's. And truth is, Ace Combat 7 was there, it's available for anyone to free, but at the same time, it was also on Bandai Namco's section, but just closer to the press, and I just think we had a little bit of miscommunication knowing where the game was. And some subscribers, some friends of mine went there, they asked Bandai to play the game, but they were not allowed to because it was only for the press. That because they went to the wrong part, which was kind of not that clear, I think, through their media posts. SlyCooper, would you have anything to add about that?
Yeah, our biggest problem was just there must have been some kind of miscommunication because it wasn't mentioned on their social media pages which would be the press event and which would be the public event, or the areas for each one. And especially considering that this is the first year that E3 is open to the public, we assumed that they would have both open to the public. So there was a miscommunication there, and we do admit that we could have looked a little bit deeper into it. We could have gotten people to check Creative Labs first, but they should have said straight from the get-go, this is explicitly where to go for the public, this is where to go for the press, here are the booth numbers, and then, you know, we wouldn't really have had too much of an issue. It's a small booth. If anyone that's at E3, you can check Creative Labs. There's only a couple of stations, if that. There might just be one, but honestly, just to have its presence there in the first place for the public to play is important. But we just wanted to make sure we address that we understand now what the situation is, and that we don't want any miscommunication for anyone watching the videos to think that Ace Combat 7 is unplayable. It's not. People can play it. It's just, it wasn't clear from the get-go.
And it's a bit hard to find, but in the end, it's important that we mention we contacted Bandai through social media, and they promptly replied to us confirming that the game was available in their Creative Lab. So everything is clear right now. It was a good move from their part. Everything is crystal clear and it's there. Personally, I just think I'm a little bit sad that that's the attention that the demo is getting, just moving onto a further away, the small station, which is Creative Labs, compared to Bandai Namco's. I just think that for the 20 years the franchise has been around, and for the 10 years we have been waiting for Ace Combat 7, almost 10 years, and for the two postponed, I think they could have gotten a little bit more excited about the game or demonstrated a little bit more, but that's just about my impression. But the important thing is the demo is indeed there. If it's gonna come to the PS Store or anything like that, we don't know yet. We're just talking about the E3 demo.
And we will tell you if it becomes available, for sure.
Alright, the next thing we're gonna talk about is the pertinent issue, is that it wasn't featured in their program. We were expecting Ace Combat 7 to be featured on Bandai's live stream, I think via Twitch, which was actually being hosted by Twitch. But what happened there is that they had 15 minutes just titled Bandai Namco, and the other half an hour later was pertaining to Ni no Kuni. And we just thought it would be more of a general time comprising of other games such as Gundam or Ace Combat 7, but the 15 minutes were just purely dedicated to Dragon Ball Z, which is something we're not expecting. So then again, is that issue with communication? We're expecting more of a general overview of the games, not just Dragon Ball. We don't know whose fault is that, if it's pertaining to Twitch or Bandai or something like that. We just wanted to see something a little bit more specific because we were expecting the game. Then again, our fault, but we just wish things were a little bit more clear. Your take on that, Sly?
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. We don't know if that was Twitch that labeled it Bandai Namco instead of Dragon Ball. We don't know if Bandai Namco told them, yeah, it's just Bandai Namco. The biggest thing is that we don't know what happened there, but what came to us was that we just thought it was going to be a general thing for all of Bandai Namco's games at E3, including Ace Combat, which wasn't the case. But we do know we have tomorrow, we'll have GameSpot and Sony both doing Ace Combat 7. Sony will be doing it for 20 minutes, I believe, and GameSpot for about 10 to 15. We're not too clear on GameSpot because they're sharing with Project Cars. But
yeah, let me just show in here. So Sony is going to be showing at 1:40. That's local time at E3 for 20 minutes, and as we can see here in the schedule for GameSpot, which is also on the 15th, Ace Combat 7 will be shown from 3:30 to 4, but then that's together with Project Cars 2, so we don't know how much time exactly it'll be dedicated to Ace Combat 7 or what kind of content will be featured there. Just that the thing, we're a bit disappointed that Ace Combat is only appearing on third party, which is Sony and GameSpot. We would like to see more of a Bandai, I guess, promotion on its own game. But then again, there's just our feeling about that, which we will be covering tomorrow. We're making the Ace Combat stream, so to cover whatever happens to Ace Combat on Sony's and GameSpot's streams. And I'll be also together with Sly Cooper, which is going to be having the commentary and answering some of the many questions that you might have, that as many as that we know. And we've also had this Facebook post from Bandai saying they're going to make a question and answer session with the developers of Ace Combat 7. We were just wondering when that's gonna be and how is it gonna show up, because then again we were assuming that was gonna be on the Bandai part of the stream, but that didn't happen. So we're just wondering if that's gonna be on a live program or it's gonna be recorded or something like that. And I think that's all I have to say. I'll leave the rest to Sly. Hopefully we'll get to see a very good demonstration of Ace Combat 7 tomorrow on the stream.
yeah, so anyone who was there on yesterday's stream that might have gotten disappointed with us, anyone who wasn't with the stream, we know confirmed for sure Ace Combat will be there tomorrow, so Ace Combat fan and I will both be there. We'll be chatting, answering questions, whatever questions we can, showing whatever gameplay we have now. We have at least 2-3 videos now from E3, so should be a fun time tomorrow.
Yep, and that's gonna be the schedule for tomorrow. And again, I hope we have cleared up some of the issues that happened yesterday. Some obviously mostly due to miscommunication, but that's all clear. We just like to thank Bandai for answering our questions on social media. That has helped a lot. Now things are more clear, and hopefully we'll be joining tomorrow to see Ace Combat 7. Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you. See you.